What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have another stream. I'm just going to talk about some of the pickups I picked up from the entertainment store on eBay, and then I'll just be like answering questions like normal. I got a film I got to talk about, a film I didn't finish, but I need to talk about it on a picture quality and just overall perspective. Let me know if the audio is fine on your end. That's good. So just got my technician over there. So she's just giving me the thumbs up. The audio's all good. Just waiting for people to drop in. But got 6 people watching, so that's pretty awesome. So welcome to the stream, everybody. Right. So I wanted to talk about just as people, I'm. It's weird. I usually stop to pause to rethink what I'm about to say but I'm live, so you can see all my fucking mistakes. So anyway, to let people flood into the chat, before I get to the chat, I'll let it fill up for a little bit. I'm just going to talk about one little movie that me and Soph decided to watch that we didn't finish because it was not good. Gemini Man, the Will Smith action movie. I picked this 4K up because it was meant to have been a really, really good 4K disc. Now, the thing is, I think it is a really good 4K disc. However, the film proudly wears its technical side of it, how it was made on its sleeve. It says to you, this 4K presentation was shot at 60 frames per second and not at the standard 24 frames per second. And it's probably the thing that kills this movie the most. I mean, the acting isn't great. The dialogue is not very good. The script is pretty shit. It's a watered down piece of shit that could have been an 18 and been really, really violent. And it's not that. So it lacks all those kind of things for an action film that you would hope for. But yeah, it's not good. Now, the 4K, 60 frames per second, it gives you probably the best 4K image I have seen on the movie. However, the 60 frames per second part is a detriment to the overall experience. It is clinically clean to the point that it looks unnaturally smooth. And because of that, there's no tone to the picture. There is no grit. There is no grain whatsoever. And I think for an action film of this ilk, it needs that to really kind of identify itself apart from other big blockbuster action movies. And I think the 60 frames per second kind of thing for this really hurt this movie. The movie's not very good in the first place. It was shit. But to the point where we didn't finish it, that just says everything you want there. But yeah, the 60 frames per second really hurt this movie. It's really, really smooth to the point where it just looks weird. The young Will Smith looks hideous to the point where he looked like he was fucking, a Ken doll. Like he looked plastic as all fuck. Looked hideous. A lot of the shots where it was going through traffic was really smooth and kind of gave us a bit of a headache. Yeah, I kind of hated how it looked. It had great clarity. Like it was pin sharp. It was super clarity. Image looked absolutely crystal clear, like you could step through a window almost. It was that good in terms of clarity, but in motion, the 60 frames just killed this movie in terms of its image. I feel like if it was shot at 24 frames, it would have added a bit more of a atmosphere, give it more of a tonality to it. And yeah, I hope nobody does the 60 frames per second thing again. I thought it really is a detriment to the medium, and I don't want films to look that smooth. If you go and watch films that were shot at 24 frames per second, the standard frames per second, there is something there that gives it that tonality, that kind of bit of a grain in there, and it gives it that extra something where I feel, like I said, this is way too smooth, unnaturally so, and I think it loses something. I think it loses something big time with that 60 frames per second. Anyway, that is my little rant on Gemini Man. Shit movie. Bad idea going down the 60 frames per second route. It makes it really, really uncomfortable to watch, and I think it loses an edge on for the film. at that frame rate. So yeah, that's just my opinion. I hope we don't get a 60 frames per second movie ever again, because I just feel it's a detriment to the movie experience. But yeah, that is that. That is that. Let's go to the comments. So my right hand woman, my technician of sorts, has let us know that the audio is all good. So I'm glad, because I did a pre sound test earlier and it was just really peaking out and really loud. So I need to dial that down a smidge. So I'm glad that that's all good. We have Luke Movies and TV in the chat. He says, "Hi Jason, you okay, mate? I'm very good, thank you. Thanks for joining the stream. I really appreciate it." Luke also says, "Gemini Man was awesome, mate." I highly disagree. I do apologize. I highly disagree. I thought it was one of the worst action films I've seen in a very, very long time. I would say, one word to describe Gemini Man for me would be hollow. Very hollow, not much substance, a terrible idea of 60 frames per second, etc. I digress. We have Angel of Darkness. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you joining. We have Lou. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for the support, as always, Lou. You know, you're always commenting on my videos. So I really do appreciate the support. We have Sean Sheridan. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining, as always, Sean. Appreciate it. He says Gemini Man is fucking bad. Yeah, man, it's fucking dreadful. I didn't finish it. I don't know how it ends, because I just couldn't get through the movie. It was that the script was really bad and the action scenes were watered down, and obviously the technical side of things, where it was 60 frames, just hampered the whole experience. It wasn't good. We have Pete from Playtendo Guy. He says, Gemini Man was action film 101. It was fine, but the script was tossed around for years and was supposed to be a more mature rated film. I've seen better action film 101s, so I don't think it was fine. I think it was worse than fine. I think it was like, I don't know, bottom of the fucking bargain bin kind of shit. The fact that I got it for so cheap is probably a reason why nobody likes this movie. Pete also says, I didn't mind 60 frames per second, but it's definitely not for everyone. And it's arguably more of a gimmick. Yeah, that's how I kind of felt about 3D when 3D came out. But I digress. We have Martin McBurney in the chat. Welcome to the stream, Martin. Appreciate your participation. Right, I'm just gonna get on to the main crutch of the stream today. So, Entertainment Store on eBay had a really good deal on their eBay store, and I couldn't believe it. It's literally like just 4Ks at the most dirt cheap, basically. And this deal worked out about £5 a 4K, which is insane. If you think about it. My good friend Ash over at Popcorn and Horror sent me a message saying, you got to jump on this deal right now. And he sent me a link to the eBay deal, and it was just unbelievable. So, in theory, so the deal was, Entertainment Store, if you added 3 items to your basket, Entertainment Store will deduct £30 from that order. So it just became ridiculous. So overall, I was able to get 6 4K movies for about £29. So it works out just shy of £5 a 4K. Insane deal. So this is what I picked up. I picked up Schindler's List. Never seen this. It's one of Steven Spielberg films I've not seen. I know it's a bleak and a hard watch, and it's about, it's about 4 hours long or something like that. I know it's meant to be a long movie as well. I know it's meant to be a bleak movie. I do know the kind of history about it. Steven Spielberg made this at the same time as Jurassic Park. He was jumping to and from both projects. I can't believe how he kind of sustained his mental kind of capability doing that, because on one side, you've got this kind of upbeat adventure dinosaur movie, and on the flip side of that, you've got this absolutely bleak war movie. So yeah, it must have gone from being this little child with dinosaurs one moment to this absolutely depressed motherfucker on the other. So yeah, not seeing this one. I don't know when I'm going to be in the right mindset to watch it, but I will get there eventually, for about 10 years. But you know me, guys, I take ages to get to watch stuff. That's Schindler's List. Oh, I'm back. Hi. I don't know what happened there. Holy shit. So yeah, as I was saying, Schindler's List. Like I said, about £5, £5 and 4K. Next up is Blade, because I fucking love this movie. This is just a really fun vampire film based on the Marvel comics. It probably like blew up, made Marvel one of the first Marvel movies in terms of being a big hit. I think in the late 90s. Yeah, I think this is great. I think Wesley Snipes is just great as Blade. I just don't see anybody else playing Blade. If I'm honest, like Wesley Snipes is Blade to me, and the sequel is really good as well. Really like the sequel. I think might like the sequel a little bit more. I'm not too sure. They're pretty much on par, in my opinion. But yeah, Blade on 4K again in this fucking crazy entertainment store deal. Fucking crazy deal. Crazy. This is the creme de la creme. I couldn't believe I got these for so cheap. It's insane to me. So we got Batman on 4K with a slipcover, which is awesome. I always appreciate getting a slipcover with these movies. But yeah, again, I spent £29 on six 4Ks. Yeah, so I got Batman Returns. I've heard this is the best 4K out of the bunch, but I don't know because I've not watched these yet. I did watch this fairly recently. I say recently, within the last year or so. Watched it as an adult for the first time. I didn't really think it was that good. I thought it was a bit crap, if I'm honest. So maybe if I rewatch it on 4K, it might change my mind again. Who knows? Batman Returns. Then we've got Batman Forever. I don't think I've watched this film since I was a kid, to be honest. So it'd be interesting to rewatch this as an adult and see how I feel about it. I know it's going to be a massive change in tone from Batman Returns. I know it's going to be going for that more kid-friendly, kind of cartoony kind of vibe to it, to sell toys, of course, because that's what they did back then. But yeah, I can't believe I got this for a £5, pretty much. Batman Forever. And of course, the last one in this insane deal is Batman and Robin, one of the worst superhero films ever made. Made a little bit better and a bit more charm because Arnold Schwarzenegger is in there. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Let's kick some ice. It's awesome. Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger is awesome. He's the best part of this movie, in my opinion. So quotable. So quotable. But yeah, that's Batman and Robin. So yeah, for 29 quid, I can't really complain. The entertainment store, that deal was insane. They did add more to that deal a couple of days ago. I did order like 9 4Ks for like £35, but it must have been a mistake on their part because they immediately issued refunds for those recent orders. So I lost that deal, unfortunately, for those titles that I ordered from them yesterday or the day before. But that's a bit of a shame. We have Luke. Luke says, "Have you watched Goodnight Mummy, new film from 16th of October?" I haven't. I know it's a remake of a European movie, or is it? I think it's a Swedish movie. I'd rather watch the original, if I'm honest. But yeah, I can't know I kind of got an idea what it's about, but it hasn't really tickled my fancy, if I'm honest. But maybe I might catch it at some time in the future. Sean says, Batman Returns is my third favorite Batman movie. I love the dark tone and Christmas feel. That's fair, man. I'm looking forward to rewatching it on 4K to see if my opinion will change, because I didn't really like it on a rewatch recently. Lou says, nice Arnie Mr. Freeze impression. Well, thank you. I do try. Sean says, Batman and Robin is bad, but I thoroughly enjoy it for how campy when you accept it for what it is. Yeah, I kind of agree. It's a terrible film, but I think if you just take it for just a stupid, just hammy, campy Batman film, I think there's a lot of fun in there. The fucking back credit card, and they somehow have ice skates in their shoes out of nowhere. They never explains that. Batman's prepared for everything, I suppose. But that's the fun of that movie. I think it it kind of gets the campiness from the Adam West Batman stuff as well, the '60s show. It kind of invokes that kind of goofiness to a degree. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it. Like, I'm so happy these all came with slipcovers because for for £5 of Blu-ray, £5 of 4K with their slips, like it made my day when I opened the box. I opened the box, I was just like, awesome. These all have slipcovers. It's like I've become like not that bothered about slips, but if I'm getting a franchise like this, say if 2 came with slips and 2 didn't, I'd be annoyed. I'm like that. I like uniformity, so the fact they all came with slips, I'd rather them all come with slips or all of them not come with slips. So yeah, I'm well chuffed about that. Absolutely fan dappy dozy, as they say. Ratio. We all about the ratio. Sean Sheridan says, I much prefer the gritty, grounded Batman movie, but I prefer to have a movie in the franchise that's the opposite for a different taste, if you will. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I appreciate that opinion. That definitely makes sense. Martin McBurney said, I hated the Batman with Robert Pattinson. See, I'm completely opposite. I absolutely fucking adore that movie. See, I've been waiting for a really, dark detective noir Batman film for years because people forget, like, he is a detective. He's the world's greatest detective in the comics. He's like he can figure out things really well. He's so intelligent, such an intelligent dude, Bruce Wayne. And I think that film captured that part of his character just perfectly. I actually just fucking loved it. I thought it was great. I didn't think it really kind of outspoke its welcome too much. 3-hour runtime can put a lot of people off, but I feel the Batman kind of made it work, and it actually really helped the story kind of breathe a little bit. I thought it's fantastic. I think it's got one of the best openings for a Batman film ever, where Bruce Wayne is explaining that just the fact that he's got the bat signal coming out, that puts fear in the criminals. He doesn't necessarily have to engage all the time. It's so clever writing. It's so good character building. Yeah, I adored that movie. I thought it was fantastic. Like I said, I think a lot of people was expecting a typical kind of action orientated Batman movie, whereas I was hoping for this, slow, dark detective noir, and that's what we got, and I was so happy about it. I think Matt Reeves directed the fucking hell out of this movie, and I think it was great. I haven't picked it up on 4K yet or anything because I don't know if I'm going to have 3 hours to watch it. Saying that, I got Schindler's List to watch as well, and that's fucking like 3 hours, isn't it? So, but yeah, but I'm sad that you didn't enjoy it though, Martin. That is a shame because I had a great time in the cinema with it. I thought it was fucking almost perfection. Almost. It's probably my favorite Batman movie. If I ignore nostalgia, it's probably my favorite Batman movie. What am I doing? Oh yeah, Lou says in the Adam West Batman movies there is one where they have an encounter with the Green Hornets. Is it actually like with Bruce Lee? Is it actually a proper like Bruce Lee episode? Because I know Bruce Lee was in the Green Hornet in the 60s. Let me know. Was it the 60s? It probably might have been the 60s. I can't remember. But yeah, I know Bruce Lee was his name Keto in the Green Hornet. Green Hornet's basically right hand man. But yeah, I don't really care for the Adam West stuff, if I'm honest, but that's interesting because it makes me wonder, was Bruce Lee in a Batman episode? That'd be pretty cool. We have classic reviews. Josh, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Sean Sheridan says, I want Hush for the Batman sequel. I'm nearly certain Hush will be the villain. Cool. I don't know what that is. I'm really like shit for like characters and stuff in the comics. I don't really read the comics at all. Josh says Kato. Haha. Yes, that was his name. Bruce Lee's character in Green Hornet was Kato. Thank you for the information, Josh. Appreciate that. I'm at the end of the comments. This is when it gets difficult because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just sitting there being a twat. Gonna have a cup of tea because that is a must. Recently watched, gave a Battle Royale rewatch recently because Soph hadn't seen it before. It was one of my favorite movies of all time, and that film still fucking holds up. It's so fucking good. Battle Royale. If you've not seen Battle Royale, guys, it's 2000 Japanese movie. Just outstandingly good. Rewatched it recently, and it's still fucking great. I want to get the 4K. I want to get that fucking Arrow box set. I wasn't going to pick it up because I've got this like Korean box set with the 2 Battle Royale films, but now rewatching Battle Royale, I kind of want that box set from Arrow. What am I doing? Okay, I'm really all over the place tonight, guys. So Sharon says, seen Terrifier 2016. I have seen that. I'm not overly struck on it, if I'm honest. I mean, it's super gory, and I think the performance from Art the Clown is interesting. He's actually a really good performance. Like, he emotes really well. He's that silent, emotive type, and it's actually really interesting. But I felt like it's one of those kind of like hopeless horror films where it's just like, don't expect any character or character development or story. It's just this killer going around just murdering people in the most horrific ways. So it wasn't really something for me. It was missing that big thing which I look for in movies, which is characters and narrative. And I don't think the Terrifier really had that. It was just look how gory we can fucking be, and it is fucked up. That movie is fucked. But like, I need a story to hook me in, and I don't think Terrifier had that for me. However, I have heard that the sequel definitely, apparently from what I've heard, definitely has a more kind of traditional kind of horror story, kind of a story thread. So hopefully Terrifier 2 will be more up my street, but we have to see. We'll have to see. Just said, I used to have the Funko Pops of the Green Hornet and Kato. That's cool. That's pretty cool. I never actually watched the actual TV show from the 60s, if I'm honest. I just know that Bruce Lee was in it. I'm more familiar with Bruce Lee's like martial art kung fu movies. Mike Maboni says, love Matt Reeves. Let Me In is a great vampire movie. I've not seen Let Me In or the original, Let the Right One In, and I've not seen either of those. Sophie's a big fan of Let Me In, and I picked up the Blu-ray so we could watch it together because I've not seen it. So that might be on the cards at some point. Speaking of Soph, we have Soph. Soph says, asks, are you excited for the new Hellraiser film? Going by the trailer, I think they've got the look, the visuals bang on. I think it looks absolutely fantastic, and I think it could be a really good movie. But we won't know until we see it. And I think sometimes you could get a bit overhyped with trailers, but I think this trailer was so good that I think I've got faith that it might be really good. But we have to wait and see. For example, Mortal Kombat 2021, the trailer was really good, but the film didn't live up to the trailer, in my opinion. Even though I like that movie, I think it's entertaining. I think like the trailer got me really hyped for it to be a really, really good Mortal Kombat movie, and it was just fine, but entertaining. We have Andy from Forgotten World of Movies. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing really well, thank you. Thanks for joining, Andy. Appreciate it. Josh says, the new Hellraiser director did The Night House, one of my favourites of last year, but Hellraiser looks like a dud. I think it looks really good, if I'm honest, Josh, to be honest. I think it looks decent. Just going by visuals alone, it looks, I think they've smashed it. It looks great. Platonic Guy says, hopefully after Prey surprised us, the new Hellraiser will too. The trailer looks great. So this is the difference. This is where I get a bit controversial, I suppose. See, Prey was fine. I don't think it was amazing. Don't think it was amazing. There's a lot of issues with that movie that kind of bugged me a lot. That movie, I feel like the main character should have gone through a lot more in terms of character development, and she didn't. She was the same person from the beginning of the film as she was at the end of the film, and I thought it was a bit weird. But that's just me. You know, people can have a different opinions. Sean Sheridan says Hush is like the anti-Batman. Okay, that makes sense. That sounds interesting. That sounds really cool. Sean Sheridan says The Monsters by Rob Zombie sounds like garbage. I have no interest to see that, if I'm honest with you. I have no interest at all. I couldn't care. I couldn't care less about that movie, but I've not heard particularly good things either. So that will be that. Soph asks, so what are we watching tonight? The worst question of all time, because we never can decide. We spend like an hour deciding, and then by the time we've decided, we fall asleep, because such is life. We have Dudley in the chat. Welcome to the stream, James. Appreciate you joining. He says, hi, mate. I really do appreciate joining. I know you've probably just finished work, but I appreciate it nonetheless, my friend. Josh says, I'm going to watch The Monsters, but not sure what I'll think about it. I mean, if you want to check it out, but I just don't have any interest myself. Martin McBurney says, or asks, have you seen Nightbreed? Great Clive Barker movie, and David Cronenberg is very creepy in it. Do you know what? I don't like that movie. I think I went into that expecting a horror film for some reason, and it was this weird kind of dark fantasy movie. It was strange, and it didn't gel with me whatsoever. I will say David Cronenberg is probably the best part of that film. I thought he was really creepy, and I think he was really, really cool in the role he had. But I think overall the story and the overall film itself just wasn't for me. It was fucking weird. That film was weird. I just couldn't get into it. I found myself checking my phone a lot when it was on, and you know when you start checking your phone, you know something's up. You know the film isn't for you. But yeah, I'm glad you like it though, man. Glad you like it, but it really wasn't for me, unfortunately. Josh says, I've nearly watched 100 new films this year. I need to catch up on some. I don't think I've watched any new films, barely any new films this year, to be honest. I need to remember what we've watched. What have we watched? I can't remember. But anyway. Where's Steve lately? All right, I'll get Steve for once. I ain't got Steve on the stream for ages. Let's get Steve. You can keep it on. It's fine. Don't worry, it's fine. Ugh. All right, Steve is here. He's looking dapper as anybody with the new hat on. You know, he's looking great. Love Steve. Love little cry. Steve the cry, everybody. Yeah. Yeah, he's doing all right. He's just chilling out. He just has no he has no cares in the world, and I just I feed him, I make sure he's all right, and he's just got a big smile on his face. He's happy. He's got a hat that he got from Soph. He's looking dapper. He's all good. Steve the cry, everybody. You're not seeing this, guys, but Sophie's treating him like a little baby. It's hilarious.
Judge me.
I'm not judging you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's hilarious.
It's our firstborn.
Apparently, Steve is that firstborn, guys. Apparently.
I'm not here about the birth. Oh.
I don't think that's stream appropriate, my love. Right. Where was I? Where were we? Yeah. Josh says my boy Steve making an appearance. Did you see that? Welcome to the stream. Hey Jason, hope you're well. I'm very good, thank you. Appreciate you joining the stream. Soph asks, what did you think of Texas Chainsaw Massacre on a rewatch? I did not enjoy it. I felt disappointed by it. Now, I thought it was all right. I've never been the biggest fan of that film anyway, but on a rewatch, it was. I didn't hate rewatching it. I thought it was fine. I did feel it gets a bit it gets a bit in your face towards the end. Like the main Sally, the main final girl, can't just she doesn't stop screaming, so it gets a bit annoying. But I think I appreciate it more on a rewatch. I understand how it would have impacted audiences, in 1974 when it came out. No one saw anything like that back then, so it was brand new in terms of its style. So, but I've ordered the 4K, and I've got the sequel as well coming. Both really cool media books from a Midnight Factory, so I'm looking forward to getting those. Josh says, oh, he's talking to somebody else. Boom. Sean says, such a cute critter, bad franchise, but the first two are solid. See, the majority. I think it's a mixed bag. I don't think it's a bad franchise per se. I think it's a mixed bag. I think so. You got the first two films. The first one is just 80s classic to me. I fucking love that movie. The sequel is a really good sequel. I don't think it's as strong as the first one, but it's a really good follow-up. Number 3, you can tell that the studio had no faith in the critters anymore, and they basically gave them a nothing budget. So the scale diminished, and it was this kind of just in this apartment building with a few critters. But I've got a very, very big soft spot for that third movie, probably because it's the first movie I saw. I was about 6 years old. So it was that first true. I was 6 or 7. I can't remember how old it was, but yeah, it was that first Critters film I saw. So I've got a big nostalgia for that, and it just warmed my heart when I watched that film. That film is as much of a comfort movie as the original for me. Critters 4, however, I think it would have been better if it wasn't a Critters film, because I feel it's got loads of really good potential, really good ideas for a standalone science fiction story, but they just threw a couple of critters in there that were barely in there. So Critters 4, I've appreciated it more on a rewatch in what it was trying to do for the story, but as a Critters film, it fails on that, on that titular thing. Critters, there's barely any critters in the movie, so why call it Critters? Critters Attack on a rewatch was fucking dreadful. I hated it on a rewatch. Everything that you love about Critters 1 and 2 is completely absent in Critters Attack. It's just absolutely unbearably to watch, and all the characters are just fucking annoying. You follow this girl who's trying to get into university that she keeps getting rejected for, and there happens to be critters landing her in the area, and she has to babysit. It's awful on a rewatch. And the Shudder series that no longer is on Shudder because they even know how bad it was a new binge, a 8-part miniseries that, it goes places, and it is unrecognizable as Critters. So that's my quick rundown of the Critters franchise. Yeah. Lou says, I've seen The Thing 2011 and it wasn't bad. I mean, it is a prequel, so people should have known the fate of that crew. I think the main issue for that is not so much people should have known what would happen. I think that's a problem with prequels anyway. That's why I don't particularly like prequels that much in general, because I think with a prequel you've boxed yourself in anyway, because there's an expectation of where the story is going, because you know where it's going, because there's the original film that is preceding. But I feel like with The Thing 2011, it does things that completely derail the original movie. If you think about it, so in The Thing 2011, they discover that the Thing cannot replicate in non-living stuff. So metal, it can't mimic metal or something like that. And the main character, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, the main character, she's checking for fillings, and all their fillings come out when she finds fillings on the floor, and it's this whole plot point in the prequel. And I'm just well, that completely is a plot contrivance for one, and also it contradicts the original 1982 The Thing, because that's not brought up once. There's nothing mentioning about metallic material. It can't mimic that. So I think there's a lot more in regards to why people think it's not that good. Is because there's things in there that just completely disregard the original and what is established from that original movie. I thought it was okay. I don't have any inkling to rewatch it ever. And I feel like the studio just fucking ruined it with just this CGI shit all over it. When amalgamated dynamics had full on practical stuff made for the movie, and we're going to go the true practical effects route with it in like in spirit of the 1982 movie. But yeah, they just the studio was like, oh, it's not good enough, and they just like covered it all with fucking CGI shit. And the ending of the film, the fucking CGI is fucking dreadful in that prequel. It's a shame because it could have been decent if they just kept the focus a little bit more on just this small crew. And it should have been an all Norwegian crew, in my opinion. And they should have all spoke Norwegian, and it should have been a true Norwegian story with this Norwegian team. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it for some point, to a point. But yeah, I didn't think it was great. I think it's got a lot of problems, and I have no reason to even own it or rewatch it. The original '92 is the thing that I will just rewatch over and over again. And even with the prequel movie, it just retreads the beats of the original 1982 film anyway. So you're better off watching the 1982 John Carpenter film because it's just better in every fucking way. Did you see that says? He's talking to someone else. Ignore me. James asks, what film did you watch that played on your mind? I don't think many films do that, but when I came out of watching Hereditary for the first time, that was a film that I was just like, just trying to like just dissect and piece together and figure it out and stuff like that. So I know the whole kind of story of Hereditary, the big kind of flip moment. I think a lot of people either saw that coming and knew the kind of what was going to happen, or they didn't. And I'm one of those people that kind of didn't see it coming. So when it did come, I was like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, Hereditary was one of those big movies that really kind of like I thought about a lot. And I haven't got around to rewatching that movie since I saw it in cinemas because I think it's just such a bleak movie, very bleak and very very heavy on certain things like grief and dysfunctional family and stuff like that. It's a fucking heavy movie in terms of those kind of themes. But yeah, that's probably one of the films that comes to mind that I was thinking about long after the credits rolled. Josh says, might try and attempt Super Pets tonight as I haven't seen it yet. I hope you like it. I don't have any inkling to watch it myself, but yeah, I hope it's good. At least we all hope all the movies we see are good, right? So yeah, I hope it's good. Sean Sheridan says the Texas Chainsaw remake is far better. I wouldn't say it's better. I'd say I just prefer it over the original. In my opinion, I prefer the look. I prefer the visuals. I prefer the tone. Yeah, I just think Leatherface looks terrifying in the remake. I think his mask looks scarier. I just think the overall production of the remake just is awesome. Yeah, I agree. I much prefer the remake, but I don't know if I could say it's better or worse. Because I still respect the filmmaking prowess of the original. Got a cough. I'm gonna mute myself. One second. Oh god, I still got this little cough, guys. It's pissing me off. It's always at night time as well. I'm fine during the day. Fucking bastards. Yeah, I got tea here. It's fine. A classic review to Josh says, sorry. The new Texas Chainsaw was so stupid. I'm not a big horror guy, so I don't think it was my thing personally. See, I really enjoyed the new one. As dumb and stupid as it is, because it is fucking dumb and stupid, for an almost like 80-minute movie, it was exactly what I wanted. Bless you. Yeah, for an 80-minute movie, if you take time for credits, it's probably even less than that. Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new one for Netflix, I really had a good time with. It's stupid, it's dumb, but I had a really good time with it. And yeah, I don't know. I understand why people don't like it. But there's a lot of like gatekeepy kind of horror fans. Bless you. On the on the on the internet, people that they only love the first two, and they're very much like, oh, they're the best or whatever, But like, I like what I like. I really like the original. I like this Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 to a point. Three and four are shit. The remake is really good. The beginning is okay. Texas Chainsaw 2013, everyone hates, but I kind of have a good time with that movie, as stupid as that film is. Leatherface was shit, and this new one is actually pretty fun. So yeah, I feel like it's a big mixed bag, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. But yeah, like you said, if you're not a horror guy, I don't think going into it knowing that you're not a horror guy, I don't think you would have liked it anyway. But at least you gave it a watch, I suppose. That's a good thing. You never know. You might come across a horror film that you actually really like, or you already have horror films that you really like. Anyway, Soph says, "I love Critters, as you know. I love Charlie." Yes, I know, my love. Soph says, "I love the 2022 Texas Chainsaw. Had a brutal fun time with it." Exactly that. I agree. Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. A brutal fun time. Josh says, "I haven't seen The Thing yet." As in John Carpenter's The Thing. You might have to change that, sir. I know you're not a horror guy, but that's a horror film that is just exemplary. I can't say the word. It's just exceptionally good. It's just one of the best horrors ever made. So I would say give it a go, because you might be surprised how good it is. It's so good. Martin McBurney says, apparently they're doing another remake of The Blob starring Samuel L. Jackson. I love the 1988 remake. I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do. We don't know if it's going to be good. The 1988, I think both Blob films are great. I think The Blob from 1954 or 1955, I can't remember when it came out. The 50s Blob is a science fiction B-movie masterpiece. I think it's fantastic. I love that film. It still holds up as well. Really good movie. And then the 88 movie just adds that fucking just disgusting, gross, just violent, just nastiness to it. And it's also great. So I think both of the Blob films are really good. Hollywood have got this massive boner of doing remakes, so I'm not surprised they're remaking The Blob. But then again, it has been so many years now. So, it's not like it's just been remade and they're doing another one. It's actually been a while. But again, we'll see, I suppose, if it's going to be any good. We never know, because there's been some good remakes, in my opinion. I really like the Child's Play remake. I thought it was great. I adore the Evil Dead remake. So there's been some really, really good remakes. So depending who's making it and who's directing it and stuff, that will determine whether you know what to expect from these people, and you could determine whether it's going to be good or not. Like if it's Blumhouse, for example, I don't have faith in Blumhouse, so you never know. Blumhouse is one of the biggest mixed bag production companies out there at the moment. So you just never know if it's going to be good with Blumhouse. But if it's somebody more kind of with more credentials that actually makes good stuff, then hopefully it'll be good. But we don't know, do we, until it materializes. Sean Sheridan says, "Do you like the Psycho series?" I've only seen the first one, and it's one of the best films of its kind. It's just a classic, isn't it? And I've got the 4K. I think it looks absolutely outstanding on 4K. People be surprised. The black and white looks unbelievable on 4K. It's me and Sophie watched it recently on 4K, and it's just absolutely immaculate on 4K. Psycho. I'm not seeing the sequels. I do have a DVD box set that I haven't really kind of delved into with the other sequels. I know Soph really enjoyed Psycho 2. I know quite a lot of people that like Psycho 2, so maybe that's a film I need to check out at some point. But I kind of have heard that it's quite a consistent franchise. That none of them are outright terrible. They're all pretty decent in their own right. But let me know if it's worth delving into that franchise. We have name and stars in the chat. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you joining. Late here. My time management sucks. But hello everyone. Don't worry about being late. I'm late all the time with these streams. I was meant to start at 10. I don't think I've came on until about 20 past. I'm terrible. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Name and stars says, you're the second person online who has admitted they have a bad cough at the moment, which I'm also dealing with. My throat feels like glass at the moment. I hope you're feeling better soon, Jason. I do appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know what's going around at the moment. It's definitely not COVID. I know that much. It's just like weird, kind of horrible, kind of sandpaper kind of tickle in my throat, and it's always at night time. During the day, I haven't coughed at all today, and it's always when it gets night time I start coughing. It's really fucking weird. Tea is helping though. Tea is helping. Josh says, I like certain horror films like Hereditary, The Witch, The Lighthouse, and Titan. Hereditary, I just love. I think it's great. I need to give The Witch another go. I did try watching it with Soph last Halloween, and we just something about it just creeped us out. So we didn't watch any of the rest of it. So we need to give that a rewatch and give it another go. The Lighthouse, I've never really had any kind of interest in that movie, because it does come across as a bit of a pretentious art house film, and that kind of puts me off. Titan looks interesting. I do want to check that out at some point. So yeah, Lou says, oh, what's that fucking? There it is. Lou says, all right, gotta go. Take care, y'all. Lou, thanks very much for joining. Appreciate it. We'll have a good rest of your night and stuff, and hopefully see you on the next stream next time. See you later, mates. Yes. Then the Star says the original Blob was I can't even talk, guys. You see this? Can't even talk. The original Blob was 1958. Thanks for the info, Name the Stars. Appreciate that. I totally forgot what year it came out. I knew it was 50s, but I forgot when in the 50s. Mike McBurney says, have you seen Ready or Not? One of the most bonkers movie I've seen, but I loved it. Yeah, me and Soph watched that this year, a little while ago, maybe like mid-year time. Really enjoyed that one. I thought it was really good. What did it remind me of? What did it remind us of?
What film?
Ready or Not.
Oh.
It kind of gave me like a You're Next vibe. So like it gave me kind of a You're Next vibe, but I was waiting for like the bride girl to like go fucking full Rambo, and she never goes full Rambo. But the ending is absolutely insane nuts, because you're like, this family are like, we've got to follow this tradition. If we don't, we're all dead. And it's like, you don't know what they're talking about, and it's like, oh, is it really? It could be all just all bollocks, It could be all bollocks. And then it just goes insane. Really, really fun movie. Really had a good time. I do want to get that on Blu-ray or 4K or whatever's available at some point, because I think that would be a good fun rewatch. Really enjoyed that one. I thought it was great fun. Great fun. I'm at the end of the comments again, guys. I can't do it without comments.
Can we start singing?
No one wants to hear that. See, no one wants to hear me sing. Everyone's leaving. Look, if I start singing, everyone's going to leave. Because I thought it was going to be. I thought Ready or Not was going to be like You're Next, where it was going to be like
batshit crazy.
Like it was batshit crazy anyway. But I mean, I thought like I was expecting the bride to be like, enough of this shit, and actually go full Rambo, but she doesn't go like proper full Rambo.
No, but she gets her revenge.
Yeah, she gets her revenge. Can you imagine? Like, can you imagine, guys? Like, if you've seen spoilers for Ready or Not, if you've not seen it, cover your ears. Ready or Not. So at the end, everyone dies because they didn't kill her in time, and they actually are this cult pact, this satanic cult pact, and basically Satan just kills them all because they didn't get their sacrifice in time. And she's outside with a cigarette, covered in blood. The police turn up. They go to her. what happened here? And she just goes, in-laws.
He's brilliant.
And like, and like, you're wondering, like, how do you explain this to the police? How is she not like gonna have like serious jail time for just like, you know, she's gonna be like highly suspicious of murdering her whole fucking.
And she punched a child in the face.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Do you
about
remember
that.
that? Just full on like sucker punches him.
I don't know if they can hear you.
Oh, you can explain.
Can you hear Soph, guys? She's over there. I don't know if you can hear her. But yeah, there's a bit where she's like, this kid shoots her in the shoulder and she just punches him in the face. It's so funny.
He's so mean.
Ready or not, I've got to get that. I need to get that now. I need to get it on physical now. I want to rewatch that. That film was fun. That was a
like
fun
an hour
movie.
and a half. Wasn't long, was it?
Oh yeah, it wasn't that long.
That's what I like with short horror films. Like Wreck wasn't that long.
Yeah, Wreck was good.
Sorry, you carry on. I'll start.
Boom. Name the Star says, what's the silliest movie you recently watched? I'm giving away a bunch of shark films to an acquaintance, so I had to subject myself to Swamp Shark. They can hear you, so yeah, cool. Silliest movie you've watched recently? Silliest movie. There's been a lot of silly movies, like I thought Brain Damage is quite silly. I saw that this year. That's fucking silly as hell.
Can I come and say my one?
Yeah, okay. I think would you say Sophie's coming, guys? You're gonna say hello to Soph.
I look rough.
She looks rough. I think we're both rough. We're a rough couple.
You're so mean.
I'm not mean.
You could have stated that.
So would you say Bullet Train was a silly film? It was crazy silly.
Yeah, the whole.
I love that. Bullet Train, guys. I love that movie. That movie
I
was
watched
fucking
one.
awesome.
Was it yesterday? I watched that. Andy from Forgotten Word Movies sent me Phantom of the Paradise, and that was. I felt like I was on an acid trip. That was mental.
That film's not for me. It's a musical. I don't do musicals. But yeah, I don't know, like silly movies.
That Benny Loves You was.
Oh, Benny Loves You. Oh, what a fucking wonderful film that was. That was a silly movie. That's my pick. Benny Loves You. It's probably the best silly movie I've seen all year. I love that film. That film's great. And it was made like by one guy.
And we got tweets from like the director.
Yeah. Soph tweeted out that I did a review for that film, and the director and some of the actors kind of got back to us and like thanked us for like liking the movie and stuff. It was really cool. Like I've never actually had like interactions with like a director and stuff, so that was really, really nice. But yeah, to answer your question, Name the Stars, I would pick Benny Loves You. If you've not seen it, highly recommend it. It's so much fun.
It is bonkers.
It is.
In the best way.
It's so fun. Martin McBurney asks, have you seen Elvis with Tom Hanks? I hated that movie. Much preferred the John Carpenter Elvis movie with Kurt Russell. I have no interest in the Elvis movie.
I will watch it eventually, but I'll rather watch the Kurt Russell one, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I've got no interest. I've not seen the John Carpenter. Is that also a biopic?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you'll be alright because it's not a musical; it's a music biopic.
Yeah. But I've just heard, even like my mum went and saw the new Elvis film, and she thought that the second half was better than the first half.
Mm.
And I've heard that from not just my mum, but from a few people that have seen it.
Pete said that. Played it in the guy. Pete. He said the same.
Yeah. And also I've heard that it's one of the Tom Hanks's worst performances, which is insane because Tom Hanks is
His
great.
accent's really weird, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, Josh says, "Hey, Soph."
Hi, Josh. I've just come and gate crash.
Name the Star says, Phantom of the Paradise is fantastic.
Mm.
Plus, it's mostly rock numbers. But that's my favourite De Palma film. That's cool.
It was great, but so weird. Jessica Harper's really good because I like her from Shock Treatment. So.
More musicals that I don't even know.
Well, Shock Treatment's like what they call? I can't remember the word.
It's like spiritual successor. Like
yeah, because it's not really a sequel, even though it's the same characters. It's different actors.
Oh.
But you got.
It's Rocky Horror, isn't it? Is it a sequel to Rocky Horror?
Yeah.
Classic reviews. I keep saying that. Josh says. I found myself having fun with Elvis. its first 40 minutes are very tiring, but then the back 2 hours are pretty solid. How long is it? 2 hours and 40 minutes. Fucking hell.
It's quite a long film. Yeah.
Mm.
Apparently,
No.
there's like a 4-hour cut.
Name the Stars says, I love Benny Loves You, and as I've said, I really want you to see Killer Pinata if you can find it. I was unable to stop laughing.
Now I'm intrigued.
See, I looked the Blu-ray up, and it's like 30 quid, and I don't want to pay that. So if I can find somewhere where I can stream it, then I will definitely put that on the list to watch.
I'll write it on our long list.
Because you've likened it to Benny Loves You, so it's intrigued me. Pete says, the guy, yeah, Tom Hanks was easily the worst thing about Elvis. He isn't much better in Pinocchio either. I've heard that Pinocchio film is dreadful.
I've never really had much interest.
I just watched a review. A guy's basically breaking it down how it's just like it destroys the original animated film because Pinocchio doesn't learn any lessons. He's the victim in the whole movie. He doesn't in the original. He learns lessons.
Yeah.
So everything he gets into is his fault, and he learns lessons. In this new one, apparently there's no lessons to be learned. He's the victim in everything. Oh, it sounds awful. It just automatically it sounds like he just promotes like false victimhood. It just sounds terrible.
Is it about Amber Heard?
Probably. She lies enough. It's probably why I know she's like that. Josh says Hanks plays the penguin. Interesting. Sean says, once again, I will defend he was good in Elvis. Look, I don't know. I'm just going by what people are telling me. You've only
seen like one trailer, didn't you?
Yeah, I have no inkling.
I can't remember what film that was.
Look, let's face it. Tom Hanks can act better than any of us. Just saying.
I love Tom Hanks. Big. One of my favourite films.
We need to watch The Terminal. I fucking love The Terminal. That's such a good movie.
It's on Netflix. Maybe we should watch that tonight.
Oh, I love that movie.
But no, it's going to make me cry.
I love The Burbs. The Burbs is one of my favourite Tom Hanks movies. One of my favourite 80s movies ever.
It's a bit of the sardines.
Oh. It's so gross, isn't it? It's so gross.
It's just annoying.
No, it's his face. He's like, because he feels like he's accustomed. He has to eat it.
Yeah, but everyone's been in that situation.
I fucking love The Burbs. I love that movie. Oh god, that's like one of my favourite bits. Oh god, it's great. I want to watch The Burbs now. Damn it! It was quite recently. It was a Sunday as well. Remember, we just binged a few movies on a Sunday.
Yeah, we just sat in bed eating McDonald's.
Oh yeah, we're just being lazy. Oh, I'm losing my arm. Where are we? Right. Josh says, me and my brother were laughing our asses off at Pinocchio because of how terrible it is. Oof. Playtime guy says, the Del Toro Pinocchio on Netflix looks fantastic. It's supposed to be a more dark tale.
And it's Del Toro.
I'm already more interested in that version, to be honest, because I love Del Toro stuff. The Monkey says, oh yeah, Pan's Labyrinth is amazing. I love that movie. Greetings, Jason. Did you pick yourself up? The 13th. Oh, I've heard the 4K. I've heard that. Bye. I've heard the 4K is really bad. So I've heard that it's like really like the HDR is fucked and it's like really grainy and just apparently if you've got the Scream Factory Blu-ray box set, you're better off just not upgrading. That's what I've heard, and I've got the Scream Factory box set, and I'm not going to even bother upgrading, to be honest, because I've heard it's not that great, unfortunately. Plus, it's like 30 quid, and I don't want to pay that for a 4K, especially for a film I've already got on Blu-ray. But yeah, it's a shame. Classic reviews. Josh says, Austin Butler did a fantastic job as Elvis and was one of the best parts. The editing is just like an acid trip, but it's just so fun to watch for some reason. That's fair. That is fair. Blade guy Pete says, the thing you do is great with Tom Hanks. He even directed it. Yeah. His only directorial role, I think.
Another recommendation by Andy.
Cool. We've got Big P33. Welcome to the stream, Al. I appreciate you joining. Name the Stars says, without opening a certain can of worms that seems to be burning online, are you interested in the Little Mermaid film? I saw a leaked clip of Bailey singing underwater, and her voice is stunning. See, I'm really am over the Disney remake stuff. There's people complaining about that. She's not white. People are complaining that, oh, she's not Ariel. Like, I don't give a shit what your skin color is. I couldn't give a shit. But I'm just done with these remakes. Like, it's just like I think I spoke about this on the other, not about Little Mermaid specifically, but just Disney remakes in particular. I just feel like Disney's forgotten that those 90s classic, 80s, 90s animations kind of saved them in a way. And now they just seem to be butchering their legacy by doing these live action remakes. Like I hated Lion King. I didn't like it at all. I thought it was bad. And that's kind of because I love the original animations. I love Aladdin. I love Lion King. Hercules. All these classic animations. From the 90s and maybe like 80s, like Black Cauldron from the 80s. I love them. I grew up with them. The childhood nostalgia. And you go and watch Lion King. I think it was 2019. It came out 2019, 2020. I forget. But you go and watch the new Lion King, and it's just like they try to be like super realism, and you can't have these animals emote like you can in true traditional 2D animation. And I think it just ruins it. So I'm sure the Little Mermaid, the new one, will make tons of money because you get the general audiences, not like us super film buffs. You just get the general audiences that go, oh, a new Disney film. Oh, they've remade Little Mermaid. Let's go and see it. So I'm assuming it's going to do well because general audiences, casual audiences will just go and see it because it's a Disney movie and it's a remake of a beloved childhood favorite and stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, the can of worms thing is just, I don't know. It's just people are just like getting a bit too angry about stuff. Like I'm not a fan of the whole kind of woke kind of thing in Hollywood at the moment. Like they want to pander to a certain social group on the internet, and that they're doing that rather they're prioritizing pandering and pleasing a certain social group than they are making a good movie. That's why I stand on that thing, and that's what I hate about certain movies that just push that and push nothing else but that. But yeah, I have no inkling to watch this movie. I'm sure people will, and maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad, but like you said, her voice is great. That's awesome, because I'm obviously going to have the songs in the film and that, so that would be good. But I don't know. I'm just over the remake thing, and I don't know when it's going to stop. Apparently, there's a Hercules remake coming, according to rumor. Great. I love that original Hercules animation. Anyway, I'm going to get off my fucking soap opera box and move on from the fucking Disney remake train. I'm going to get off I got off the Disney remake train ages ago. Big P33 says, posting your package tomorrow, bud. I do appreciate that, man. Thanks so much. Big P33 is sending me some slip covers that he's getting rid of, so I'll be able to get some slip covers that I need. So thank you very much, Al. I do appreciate that. I appreciate the kindness, first and foremost. Pete says, I just wish Disney would stop the live action remakes. They have plenty of IPs to use, trying to do something else with them. I just see, this is the thing. Like, I think Disney have been hit and miss for ages. When they get it right, they get it fucking damn right. Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, great, fucking awesome, loved them. Cruella, one of the biggest surprises of last year. I loved that movie. When they get it right, they get it damn right. But I just feel like they're flooding the market with just so much shit that it's just you just got to be like, enough now, man. Like, calm down, slow down a bit, put more time to make something good, rather than pumping out this fucking woke pandering bullshit over and over again. You wonder why people hate She-Hulk. It's because it is that. It's just woke pandering bollocks, and it's probably one of the worst things Marvel have fucking done. It's awful. I think I watched one episode. It's fucking dreadful. I'm going to get off this soapbox because I'm going to upset somebody eventually with my ranting on here. Josh says, Disney are ruling the world. With that comes a quality dip. I mean, you're not wrong, right? But yeah, just put it out there. Disney are probably the most evil corporation out there. There's a video that I watched called Disney is the most evil corporation in the world. Go and watch that video. It really opens your eyes through their whole history of the absolute fucking scummy shit they have done. Yeah. And people wonder why I am triggered when I have to talk about Disney. But I digress. Let's move on. Boom. The monkey says, the extended cut is the best version of that thing you do. It adds a lot more to the feature film, in my opinion. I've not seen that film, so good to know. If I ever watch that movie, I will take note that the extended cut is superior. Platano Guy says, Disney bring back hand-drawn animation. They won't. That's what I'm saying on that. Name the Stars. Platano, obviously talking to no arguments here. I'm exhausted by the Disney reboot saga, and I'm trying to avoid them as much as this might be the only live action version I'm interested in. That's fair. That is fair. Josh says, Lion King 93 is my favourite animated film. Then 2019 one came and shat all over it. What a misfire. Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. Martin McBurney says, have you watched Andor yet on Disney Plus? Solid series so far. I haven't, and I probably won't, because I'm not the biggest fan of Rogue One, and I thought Andor was one of the worst characters in that film. So probably won't be watching that show. Oh, I'm being really negative today. What's going on? I don't want to be negative, but I thought Rogue One was boring with unlikable characters, and Andor was probably one of the most unlikable characters in that film. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, guys. All right. Name the Star says, to that end, what is your favorite Disney animated film? It jumps between two of them. It could be Black Cauldron. I love Black Cauldron. That film is so good.
Never seen it.
Oh, it's so good. Black Cauldron is like really fucking good. I love Black Cauldron. I'm a Lion King because I got massive nostalgia for Lion King as well. So it's like it always jumps between Black Cauldron and Lion King. Yeah, I'm still waiting for that fucking Black Cauldron Blu-ray release. Hopefully Criterion can get it. Then they've got a Disney deal of some kind. Please Criterion. Get fucking Black Cauldron off of Disney and put that out on fucking Blu-ray or even 4K. Actually, I don't care about 4K. Just bring it out. Criterion. Get that on a fucking contract or something. Do it now. Black Cauldron on Blu-ray. Oh, sorry. I got blacked out there. What happened? I don't know. What was I going about? I've forgotten. Pete says, I have also seen that footage of Bailey singing, and I agree she is a fantastic singer, just not bothered about the live action stuff. Yeah, I agree. But I think the most backlash about it is that she's black, and I don't care what color, what pigments are in her skin. And if she's a good actor and she plays the part well, that's all that should matter. But internet are going to rage, I suppose. The internet is going to internet, I guess you could say. The monkey says, in Tom Hanks' version of Pinocchio, the grown man coachman bringing a large wagon of boys and girls to Pleasure Island has not aged well, Jason. That gives me all kinds of wrong feels.
Gives you the ick.
What?
Gives you the ick.
I don't want to use that word. You saying "give me the ick" gives me the ick because that word is weird.
Oh, good times.
Fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. Oh, hey there. I'm not going to go through that rigmarole.
Oh, hey there, Brian.
Oh, hey, Brian. Oh, calm down.
Oh.
Sorry about this technical difficulties.
Oh, God.
Name the Star says, and it's probably why I lean more on foreign cinema lately. I don't know why, but I'm worn out on Hollywood right now. I totally understand. I think some of the best films ever made are from the foreign market. So there's fucking awesome movies. The Raid, so good. Godzilla 1954, my favorite film of all time. Japanese, awesome. Battle Royale, fucking Battle Royale, so good. The Night Comes for Us, fucking so good. There's so many good foreign language movies, man. There's so many. So fucking many. Soph says, Peter Pan is my ultimate favourite Disney character, but as you know, not Tinkerbell. Haha. You missed. Yeah, no, hashtag Tinkerbell Bell hater, but you should have put Tinkerbell End.
No, that's what Andy did.
Yeah, no, you should have put hashtag Tinkerbell End.
Okay.
Name the Stars says, how do you feel about James Earl Jones retiring from the Vader role? In fairness, he's in his 90s and deserves to, but it really does feel like an end of an era. I agree with you. I think that's with everyone, right? You know, it's with everything. You know, like the people the actors in that we grew up with are now in their, you know, a lot of them are in their, their later years and don't really have much time left, and it's kind of sad, and it's going to be an end of an era for a lot of things. And it's like Carrie Fisher. When Carrie Fisher died, that killed me. Like that what year was that? That was a year where everyone was just fucking, all these celebrities were just dying of stuff. Alan Rickman, I think David Bowie was the same year.
David Bowie
Carrie
died,
Fisher.
And then a week later, Alan Rickman died.
Oh, that's grim. Yeah. Obviously, like James Earl Jones hasn't died, which is great. Like, hopefully he lives until he's like 145,000. But some people have got to, like, you know, they've got to, you know, kind of retire from it and just live their lives. You know, his voice is iconic. You know, more than one generation. He's my Darth Vader is my favorite character from Star Wars. He is the whole reason I love Star Wars. If you look at the whole arc from Anakin through to Vader, it's just the story is engaging. And I think when he becomes Vader, James Earl Jones just absolutely made that character. Because it's just all his voice, isn't it? Like, he's not in the suit. We know that it was this English actor that's in the suit. I forgot the guy's name. I'm terrible. But to basically, what's the word? To basically embody a character just by your voice is insanely good. Is unbelievable, to be honest. Like, I've always respected voice actors and how they are able to emote just by using their voice. It's unbelievable. But yeah, I don't know. I obviously he deserves it. You know, he's 90, and it's going to be end of an era. But I bet you there's going to be someone that will sound pretty much identical. Because, like, for example, like Shaggy from Scooby Doo, I think he's had multiple voice actors, and they've all sounded pretty close to the original voice actor of Shaggy. So, it is an end of an era, but I think going forward, I bet you will have a voice actor and we wouldn't even know the difference because voice actors are getting that good now. Moving on. Platinum Guy says, are you going to watch Cyberpunk Endrunners on Netflix? Even if you weren't a fan of the game, the anime is great. 2 episodes in and it's a delight. I might give it a go. I don't know when, maybe about 10 years. But yeah, I might give it a go. It might actually rekindle me to give the game a second shot because I've heard the game is getting a bit of a resurgence because it's got a big patch and stuff. So maybe. We have the The Joe, that's an awesome name, dude. The Chosen One. Just dropping in to say, hey, dude, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining. Awesome account name. Holy shit, awesome channel name. That's fucking awesome. I've got a shit channel name. It's just my name. It's crap compared to all these people. The Monkey says, with your hair like that, you look like the Sorcerer Supreme from the Multiverse of Madness. Well, thank you. I'm getting old. That's why my hair's like this. But I appreciate that. I can't open any portals though, unfortunately. I don't have the ring. I can't open any portals.
Oh, they can say you look like Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That's what I call you.
I know. Yeah. Soph says, hashtag Tinker Bellend. She's the worst character. Like Tinkerbell and Sue should have a tea party. They'd just be bickering about stuff. Can you imagine?
I'll get so angry.
Then you just burst in with a knife and just kill them. Just mash them up.
You sound so evil.
Because you hate those characters. Josh says, foreign movies are just amazing. Petite Maman? Yeah, I'm going to say that. Petite Maman, Titane, Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Oh, Parasite, what a fucking movie. And even Decision to Leave. See, I've not seen any of those except for Parasite, but Parasite is what a movie. Holy shit, that film's great. Sean Sheridan says, The Lion King is the best, not seen Black Cauldron in 20 years. I love Black Cauldron. It might not have aged very well now, but I've just always loved that movie. I don't know how it holds up in 2022. I need to rewatch it at some point. I've got the DVD. Fucking hell, man. The monkey says Prince died that year too. Yeah. Fuck, man, that year was awful. Everyone was fucking dropping. It's terrible.
Everyone I love died.
It was awful. Soph says pretty much every celebrity I love died in 2016. It's fucking crazy. That was the year of just awful. We have my friend Dan. Welcome to the stream. He says, Jason, love heart. What are you up to, my man? When we having another double date? That's a good question. And thoughts on House of Dragon. I haven't watched House of Dragon.
I have.
I don't really care to watch it.
I like it better than Game of Thrones.
So at the moment, Sophie says she likes it more than Game of Thrones. But I think it's the honeymoon period at the moment because it's new. I think my love. I think you've got recency bias.
Right.
Like you're biased because it's new and shiny and new.
I reckon once like this big time jump happens and they become adults, I probably won't like it anymore.
Yeah, I've not watched House of Dragon, Dan. I don't know if I will. I might wait until maybe the season's over and maybe just like binge watch the season, perhaps. But yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm just working and doing YouTube and on the stream. That's what I'm up to. And being with Soph and stuff. Yeah, it's all good. Life is good, man, at the moment. Life is pretty good. Yeah, I'll be in touch, Dan. We can sort out a meet-up and stuff soon. Big P33 says, I do 31 days of horror every year in October, mix of classical and first-time watches. This year, I'm hoping to do an A to Z with classic and first-time watches, then 5 random to make up the 31. Any plans for yourself? I don't have any plans. I'm usually like last-minute kind of person. I'm terrible. But I do have a video coming out tomorrow, which is my A to Z of horror movies, where I'll pick horror movies, obviously, for each letter of the alphabet. So I might go down the A to Z route. Sounds pretty cool, but I don't think I've got picks for certain letters, which might be a bit difficult. But yeah, that sounds cool. I don't really have any plans, but you've given me some ideas, Al, so I appreciate that. Martin McBurney says, James Earl Jones also played Mustafa in The Lion King, original and remake. All right. I don't know how I fucking missed that, because I'm a fucking deaf person, probably. Member Star says, curious, but will you be doing a horror challenge come October? If so, anything on the list for that month? I don't have any plans to do a horror challenge. I know people do like 31 movies in 31 days, like they do the whole every day of the month. They'll do a review, or they'll do they'll just watch one horror film a day throughout October. I mean, I could do that, but I don't know if I will, because I don't.
Tried, that marathon last year, didn't we?
Yeah, me and Soph tried a marathon last year and it failed because we kept we picked a couple of films and we just couldn't get into them, and then we just kept changing it, and then we just got bored, and then we just stopped. So we watched Bodger and Badger because mashed potato. What, Melcy? More like mashed potato. Anyway, yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing anything like that in October. I barely can get out 2 videos a week, so if I do a challenge where I'm putting out videos, I don't think I'll be able to keep up. But maybe it's something to prepare for. Or maybe I should next year do videos, record those kind of videos early, and then when it comes to October, just put them out each day. Maybe something like that. So I don't just try and not rushing them out, so to speak. Josh says, I better head off, but amazing stream, Jason. Hope to speak to you soon. Thanks for joining, Josh. Really do appreciate it. Had really good conversations. Have a good night, and I'll speak to you soon, man. We have Pro Physical Media in the chat. Welcome to the stream, Nos. I hope you're doing well. Oh, man. Oh, my love. Name of Stars just reminded me. Rick Mail. Fucking Rick Mail died in 20... Oh.
That was 2014.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought... Oh, my bad. I thought Name of Stars was talking about that one year, but...
No.
Name of Stars says Rick Mail, Anton Yelkin, and Robin Williams' deaths truly broke me. Yes, horrible. Absolutely shit. Like, absolutely, it's just. I think the Robin Williams one was really crap because of the way. Because of the way of how things went with Robin Williams, and it's just horrible. Sorry, I lost my voice for a bit. I had to get a drink. Where am I going? Fuck's sake. Bloody hell. Monkey says, who you kidding, Jason? Sophie does you, not the other way around. I don't know how that'll work.
Excuse me?
Excuse me? Yeah, exactly.
Do you not have a penis?
I'm
a bit concerned now.
I saw people talking to each other.
Yeah, just chatting about bottom. Like what our favourite bottom episode is.
Well, everyone's talking to each other, and I don't have anything to say. So, yay!
What's your favourite bottom episode?
Oh, that's a hard question. There's loads I love at bottom. I fucking love bottom. Bottom's awesome. I love the episode. I forget what it's called, but it's when Richie breaks both his legs. He's in a wheelchair, and he has to play charades where they hide him in the cupboard and they just leave him there for ages. No, but on purpose because they want to watch TV.
Yeah.
That's fine. I want to watch some bottom now. Damn it.
I think it's on Netflix.
No, I've got the box set on DVD.
Yeah, I think it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
We recently watched that Guest House Paradiso, and now he goes, beep.
Phoebe. Hello. One boiled egg. Phoebe. Hello. It's Mr. Dwight. He's not here.
He's not here.
Look, guys. The bottom movie, I know it's not labelled as such, but Guest House Paradiso is the most fucking bad, awful, but hilariously great comedy ever made. I don't think Simon Pegg has it on his fucking resume because it's so bad. He's like embarrassed.
It was his first ever film.
It's like, it's the Guest House Paradiso is the first film starring. It's not really starring, but it's it's the first film to introduce Simon Pegg into movies. But yeah, Guest House Paradiso is hilarious. Like, it's so stupid, but it's just It's just Rick Mao and Adrian Edmondson just fucking having a blast.
Because I introduced you
I-
to the Fred, didn't
Adrian directed that film as well, which is pretty cool.
I?
I've lost where I am. I'm going to fucking just tangents, guys. Just absolute tangents. Radley, you're so late. I did that already. So, so for £29 altogether, I got Batman and Robin 4K, Batman Forever 4K, Batman Returns 4K, Batman 4K, Blade 4K, and Schindler's List. Yeah. So I got all those for 29 quids from Entertainment Store on eBay because they were doing this deal where if you put 3 items in their basket, they'll take 30 quid off. So really good deal. Just to run through that quickly again. Name of Star says, and now for some reason I have the bloody Young Ones theme song stuck in my head. See, I never got into the Young Ones because like I never grew up with it either. So it's like weird because I grew up with Bottom. My dad would show me Bottom and I liked Bottom because he loved Bottom. So like
That sounds so wrong.
I know it sounds wrong. I love the TV show Bottom and my dad liked the TV show Bottom. But that show it encapsulates my dad's sense of humor. And probably where I get it from as well. Like, not the show, but my dad. Like, I think his sense of humor has kind of moved over to me. But yeah, never actually watched the Young Ones. My dad did say about the Young Ones. He did like that show. He thought it was funny, but I never actually watched it myself.
I've got a weird crush on A. Edmondson in that. I don't know why. He's just like ginger punk rocker a little bit.
You've got a crush on everybody. We know this, right?
What? He's somebody bad.
Anyway, Big P says, if you were put on the spot to name one of the most underrated horror movies you would recommend to people, what would it be? The Void. There you go. First thing that comes to my brain, The Void.
Last Exorcism Part 1.
So good. Sophie says, what'd you say?
Last Exorcism.
Sophie would pick The Last Exorcism. The Last Exorcism, the first one. That is really good as well.
Because Part 2 is shit.
Part 2 is really shit. Yeah. All right, name something.
Or Hush, but that's not really a horror film.
Yeah. Name Star says that episode was called Accident. The bottom episode that I was talking about, when he breaks his legs.
Oh, okay.
It's called Accident. Yeah, that episode's hilarious. Dan says, Jason, not sure if you've seen it or not, but I watched a really good action film last night called Nobody with Bob Odenkirk. It was a fantastic watch. Yeah, I loved that film. One of my favourite films of last year. That was great. Absolutely just awesome. The bus fight is just savage. Just so good. Nobody is really good. Name of Star says the film was just as good. It's not Bottom Mania if you follow the show. My mother-in-law refused to watch it because the puke scenes made her throw up. It's gross. It's super gross. the puke apocalypse is gross.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, well, gross.
Dodgy fish, didn't
Yeah. I love the beginning bit where you got Eddie on the motorbike and he's absolutely pissed out of his brain.
Yeah.
It's so good. Bradley says, okay, that is an amazing deal. Yeah, I thought so. 29 quid for 6 4Ks, you can't go wrong. I mean, I could have got really shit films. There's some films that aren't good in that pack stack, but they only had like a select few that were like about 14 quid. So roughly you're paying about 4 or 5 quid a 4K. But yeah, I'm really happy with what I got. The fact that I got the 4 Batmans for basically nothing, pretty much fucking barely anything, especially in the 4K box set, it's like 65 quid. The fact that I got those 4 Batman movies on 4K for like 20 quid is ridiculous. Monkey says, I am shocked Sophie didn't take what I said as a compliment.
No, because you're implying I've got a penis.
Oh, that's great. You sang really annoyed about it as well. Oh god, it's
clearly
funny.
with a vagina, and then someone goes, "You do your boyfriend."
I'm
like,
dying, guys.
I do not
Sorry.
have a massive purple strap on either. Can we just like? I'm just gonna shut up.
People are going to clip that and take it out of context.
Please. Ruin my YouTube return.
Radley Stark says, Jason, I know you love Frailty. For another hidden gem, go and watch Fracture with Anthony Hopkins and Ryan Gosling. It's the best movie that no one ever talks about. I think you recommended this to me a couple of weeks ago, Radley, I believe, or someone else did. I can't remember. But yeah, I do want to check that out at some point. I'll have to look up for the Blu-ray or DVD or something. Or maybe I might find it in the charity shop for cheap. Dirt cheap. Name the Star says, makes me curious if you like Blackadder. I'd be disappointed if you said no, because that might be my all-time favorite comedy. See, I've not seen it, but bear this in mind. What the fuck are you doing?
What? They're just trying to join in again. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, why do I
Hi.
look so ginger?
Hi.
Ugh. No offense, gingers.
It's because my lights are yellow. They're weird. Anyway, yeah, I'm not a big comedy guy in the fact that it's not really a first genre. It's not the genre. It's not my go-to genre at all.
I like Blackadder.
So I never watched it.
You've never seen the episode with Rick Whalen when he plays Lord Flasher?
No, I've
Oh my
not seen
God.
any of it. But the problem I have with comedy shows is when people go to me, "Oh, definitely check this out. It's really funny." I just don't check it out.
Yeah, everyone's got a different sense of humour.
I know, and that's like I like to, with comedy stuff. I like to just stumble across something by accident and find it funny organically, rather than someone telling me this is really funny.
Probably.
So yeah, I've not seen it. Sorry.
I like it.
Sorry.
So come on, you like it.
Sorry. Dan says, what's the German comedy called? Ist wieder da. Fucking hell, can't even say that. Which is about Hitler waking up in modern day Germany. Was super funny. That sounds interesting. See, the concept sold that to me, even though it's a comedy.
Yeah, but you like some comedies that we've watched.
Yeah.
Sort of like Deathgasm, which is like.
Oh, I fucking love. I adore that film. That film is so ridiculous.
Underrated horror film.
Yeah. But it's like it's like a horror comedy, isn't it? Yeah. Guys, if you've not seen Deathgasm, it's like a heavy metal demon summoning horror comedy.
It's great.
It's so good. It's so good. There's a scene where the main characters beat up zombies. They beat up demons with dildos and anal beads.
It's great.
It's actually a scene in the movie. Go and check it out. It's hilarious.
It's great.
Nos says, replying to a Big Piece question, I chose Banshee chapter. Never heard of it.
I've never heard of that. What's that?
Interesting. Sell it to us, Nos, and we might check it out.
Yeah.
Radley Stark says Blackadder and 40 Towers both legendary.
40 Towers never got enough episodes. It only had like 12 episodes.
I suppose some of that show was banned because, well, apparently now certain parts of those shows are cut out because it's like insensitive.
Yeah, and not to do with what's his name, Manuel.
It's like
Manuel?
I don't know.
I can't. Someone tell me.
Namestar says 40 Towers absolutely grew up on my dad's sense of humor, and just like you, Jason, my dad introduced me to Bottom, so that's why I have a special spot for it in my heart. Yeah,
that's how I found it from my dad. A lot of my dad's comedy.
It's funny because when someone says 90s to me, I just think of Bottom because it's like a 90s sitcom. It is 90s, right? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because Young Ones was 80s.
Yeah, like I always just think of like. I always used to like imagine, because this is me just thinking, just going crazy with something, like because you see them like in the shop and like they're in their flat and they go out the window and you see like you don't see the outside of their apartment building, but you see like sometimes see outside. And I always find it funny, like, oh, can you imagine if it's like a multi, if it's like a shared universe with like the soaps of the world? So it's like, oh yeah, they're on Coronation Street, but they live above and no one speaks to them because they're weirdos. Like, I always find it.
That'd be the weirdest crossover ever.
Oh, fucking,
No,
theme.
watch bottom.
Oh, I gotta watch some bottom, man. Gotta watch some bottom. Oh dear. Stop showing off on camera.
What?
You another model on camera. What killed the dinosaurs? A bottom.
Oh, right. Can I quickly tell this story?
Yes, go.
Actually, no. You said you done something. I went, thank you. And now it's just become a thing from Kevin and Perry. Please tell me in the comments if you've ever seen Kevin and Perry and if you like that film. Because that is like, I watched that way too young, but I love it.
Never seen it.
But we keep going, have you done Miss Patterson?
Yeah. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Patterson. Can I have a jam sandwich, please? I can't do the face she makes in that scene. I can't do it.
But yeah, please let me know if you like that film.
We also like Gimme. We think that's really funny.
Yes, because I keep going, hi, from Gimme.
No, it's always like, you know, you'd be like, well, can you get me my blanket or whatever you asked me for, like the quilt or something,
yeah.
and I'll be like, fuck off. Like the way she says it.
Oh, that's another great 90s show.
Yeah,
It started in 99, so it's quite late.
Yeah, I used to watch that quite a lot on TV. We used to do like a bunch of episodes in one go.
They're all on YouTube, so we're gonna have to be unfortunate.
People talking to each other. I bet they're loving this fucking stream. It's just us talking bollocks for most of it.
I wasn't even going to appear, but now I feel left out, and I feel like on the chat.
I thought you were going to watch some of that Dharma show on Netflix.
No, it's making me feel quite sick.
Oh, is it gross?
Well, one episode was like taxidermy, and they just pull out the intestines. It's like... What?
Radley Stark says there's a lot of good found footage stuff that only seems to be available in Germany Pro.
Yeah.
Got Jerusalem on
He's talking to
Blu-ray.
that.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I like found footage movies if they're done good. So, for example, I like Wreck. I think Wreck is great.
That was brilliant.
I like Cloverfield.
Not so much.
What other found footage am I missing that I like?
Well, Last Exorcism is...
Last Exorcism is really underrated in my opinion.
Devil Inside is one of my favourites.
I don't like that film.
You didn't really like that.
Nah, not for me.
I like found footage unless it's really shaky and I get motion sickness and I can't do it.
There is a film. I don't know if it's classified as found footage. You know, people in the chat, let me know if you think it is. I've always wanted to see it. Never seen it. It's called Hardcore Henry, and it's like first person. Like it's like an action film, but it's all in the first person perspective.
So kind of like you're playing a video game.
Well, no, it's in the first person perspective. You're seeing through his eyes, but it's the whole movie.
Like a video game.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I still don't get what the monkey is meaning. I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't understand what he's talking about. Or he or she. I don't even know what. I don't know. Oh yeah, whatever it is.
I think he's American. I think.
Yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong, monkey.
Yeah, but is it a he?
I think so.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Nos says, Sophie, love the shirt. Have you seen Moonlight's Daydream?
Not yet. Oh, and I've obviously got my fairy tale.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it yet, but
it's showing at my local cinema, isn't it?
But you wouldn't want to watch it, so.
I mean, if this is a documentary, I don't mind.
Yes, I think. No, I should have to explain. I think it is like a documentary of like concert footage, but I'm not sure. Because you just found out a band that you liked covered a David Bowie song.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That
Yeah.
Hello Space Boy.
Yeah. I'm not really clued in on David Bowie stuff, but there's a metal band called Pagan's Mind that I really like, and they covered a Hello Space Boy, and it's really good. And I didn't even realise it was fucking David Bowie song.
Until I know it's because you were looking through and I noticed the name of it. I was like, that's David Bowie song.
Yeah.
Clearly, you're a massive David Bowie fan, as you can tell. Don't get to bugger off now.
No, it's fine. I'm just confused what people are saying.
What?
Oh, they think he thinks that he's pissed you off.
No,
Not at all. No,
it's fine.
You have to understand, Monkey, that we don't get pissed off about much. Nothing much offends us, but we have a certain sarcasm in our sense of humour that makes us maybe seem pissed off, but we're not really.
You're fine. You'd know if you made me angry. The masher will come out.
Yeah. Alter ego, the masher. I need to maybe make a comic called the masher. Can you imagine? Name a Star says, Deathgasm is fun. Plan to rewatch it for October since it's been a while. Yeah, I love that film.
I can't remember the main guy, but when he's got that like makeup on, oh, sexy. Oh.
Okay.
Sorry. What they call like the
corpse paint. Yeah.
Corpse
paint. Yeah.
It's just he's got like long. Oh,
what I like about the movie is where it makes the mixtape for the girl he likes, and she puts it on, and she just starts imagining all this crazy, just like weird fantasy land.
Yeah, but that's how I felt when I introduced you to that sort of music. I'm still confused what this Banshee chapter's about. Nobody's telling us.
It's a found footage movie.
Oh.
They're just talking about it because they're fans of it, and I've not seen it. Don't sweat it, Monkey. It's fine.
You're fine. On site. What have I done to my hair?
Bradley said, "Oh, he's still talking to other people." Dan says, "For this spooky season, I'd recommend Train to Busan if you haven't seen that. It's yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Train to Busan is awesome.
But I'm getting into
such a
zombie films.
Great zombie film.
I've slowly been watching zombie films. I've been really brave, but I haven't watched that one yet. I've watched quite tame ones, I think, so far.
When you say tame, what do you mean?
Like, or maybe I've just built up this expectation in my head that it's really like. Saying that, what was it? World War Z. I didn't like how quick they were.
That film's not very good, to be honest, in my opinion.
I gave it like a 7 out of 10.
Thing is, I think if you want a proper zombie film, you need to watch Lucio Fulci's Zombie. But it's got classic Lucio Fulci eye violence that you won't like.
I don't do eye trauma. We watched that last matinee and it was all eye trauma.
That's a really good film. That was a really good film, though. Last matinee is really good. Spanish Giallo in the cinema. Really cool.
It was good until it was all eye trauma.
It's horrible. He uses like an ice cream scoop to take their eye out. It's brutal.
It's all like foreshadowed at the start. Spoilers.
It's really well done, though. That foreshadow is really good foreshadowing. All the marbles fall down the stairs, but then later on, it's all the eyeballs fall down. Oh, it's so good. I recommend Last Matinee, guys, if you've not seen it. Spanish Giallo, set in the cinema, really fucking good. But if you don't like eye trauma and eye violence, maybe you should, avoid it. Name Star says, Banshee chapter has the legendary Ted Levine Buffalo Bill from the Silence of the Lambs in it. Okay, cool.
I've not seen Silence of the Lambs.
I'm intrigued because there's been a lot of talk about this in the chat at the moment about this Banshee chapter. Maybe we should
watch a trailer.
Maybe look it up. Yeah. Nos says, I found Hell House underwhelming. I need to give it a trilogy. We've got that in our Shudder list at the moment, so we're going to be checking out the Hell House trilogy as well.
Any people who've got Shudder, any recommendations? Let us know.
Yeah, we've recently got Shudder, so we're looking for good stuff to watch on Shudder-Rooney.
One thing I will say about Shudder, I'm really impressed that it's in HD and you don't have to pay any extra.
Really Stark says Hell House and the House October built, both amazing to me. For me. Okay, cool. I like the premise, the idea, concept of Hell House. It has me intrigued. Dr. Impossible says, Porridge for me, one of the great series. Stuff the political correctness, plus not the 9 o'clock news was a great BBC comedy series.
I never watched that. I still watch Porridge.
I've never seen Porridge. Again, I'm not a sitcom. I'm not a comedy person, so I don't
like
go
all
to
the
these
old
shows.
comedies, Rising Damp, like Lads on the Buses, all stuff like that.
Do you like all the Carry On films?
Yes, love all the Carry On films. I'm still waiting for a Blu-ray set. Probably be really expensive though.
Big P33 Al says, watched the Hell House trilogy last year. Enjoyed them all. Cool. He also says, saw Kevin and Perry in the cinema. Very funny.
I was like 5 when that came out. No, when did that come out? 2000.
How much more do we have? We still have? Oh, we've got fucking loads of comments left. It's getting to midnight. I need to get off here soon. Radley Stark says, weird that Hell House isn't even on Blu-ray in America. My Martin Region X700 complains to its local politician, who then tried to sell me a bridge. I don't understand what that means.
You missed Name
Name of Star says, porridge. British humour really can't be touched, in my opinion. Men behaving badly only falls in horses.
Only Fools and Horses. The episode where he sings crying, but he can't sing crying, so he's like crying. It's great.
Radley says, Sophie, I just bought Devil Inside and Steelbook from Germany for less than €5.
Oh, don't tell me that. Oh, I love that film. Let's have a look now.
Radley says, I'm not American.
No, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about Monkey.
Radley also says, the Blu-ray is spelled Jerusalem. Their spelling, not mine. That's on that film's on Shudder, isn't it? I think I remember scrolling past it. It's like Jerusalem, but it's meant to look like World War Z, like it's Jerusalem with the big red Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's on Shudder. Name of Star says, Hardcore Henry is great, though I'm not sure it stands as found footage, but definitely FPS. The soundtrack is awesome too. Nice.
Like
actually, she's got they've got. I say she because the profile picture is a girl. So if you're not a girl, I apologise. But anyway, Name Stars says found footage makes sense. Actually, just it not being found footage makes sense because they've got to find the footage for it to be found footage. And if it's not found, if they don't find the footage and it's just you're just Henry's point of view, then it wouldn't be found footage.
Okay, my brain's melting.
Found footage is called the genre of found footage is called because someone else finds the footage and you're watching the footage they find.
Yeah.
But if you're just watching, if the film is just from Henry's point of view, it's not found footage.
It's just first person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Slow, guys.
Name of Star says, Jerusalem, I was pleasantly surprised by. Radley Stark says, never heard of it, name. We'll look out for it. He's talking about Hardcore Henry. The monkey says, Jason, is that your nickname in the bedroom? The Masher. No, it's her alter ego. If you get her annoyed, she becomes the Masher. It's going to be a comic book character that I design soon.
Oh my god, trademark. Don't let anyone steal the idea. We're doing this.
Answer that for me. It's not. Name the stars.
Hey, Jake, can you hear me?
Hi. Hello.
Sophie.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Tell Jason there's a bot in the chat that's gotten really insulting to you, and he needs to delete it.
Okay.
Hey, Jake, mate, check the chat. Really, there's a bot that's gotten seriously insulting to Sophie.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you.
No, that's all right. I just didn't want you to get lost in the chat, then all of a sudden see all these messages come up.
Oh, I've had it earlier. I've had trolls. Been called a goblin and all sorts.
We don't talk about the trolls. Don't give them any airtime. Don't speak of them. Don't do
Right,
anything.
I'll let you get back on with this.
Appreciate that. Thanks, man.
Right, see you later.
Right. What am I doing? Where are we? Name Star says, does that mean then, Jason, that you will be looking forward to the Death Cavern sequel that's coming out? Yes. Give me it.
Is they actually going ahead with that now? I thought they were
Yeah,
ahead with it.
that's a good shout because I thought it was presumed to be in production, but then got cancelled or something. As far as I'm aware, let me know name because I'm sure that it was apparently meant to have been made, but then apparently wasn't being made, from what we read, apparently. We've got once again the account with the best name on YouTube. Dodger Impossible says, I finished watching this evening Going in Style, directed by Martin Brest, who directed Beverly Hills Cop and Midnight Run. Still a classic film with George Burns and Art Carney. Going in Style. Not seen it myself.
No.
But if it's good, then I'll definitely put it up.
It got cancelled last year.
Oh yes, just bring up what the name was talking about. The Deathgasm sequel was cancelled last year. We just looked it up because I thought it was cancelled, but if they've revived it, that'd be awesome.
No, it's a New Zealand Film Commission Board stopped production.
Why?
It doesn't say.
No, it doesn't say. That sucks.
No.
That sucks, man. I'd love to see a sequel to that movie. I love it.
I don't know where they'd go with it though. And plus, it's been so long since.
Yeah.
Oh, right, I need to now make it. Oh.
Radley says, okay, time for me to step out. Night all, stay safe. You too, Radley. Thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate it. Name says, Trench Besides great. CO, I can't even say that word. Seal Station, the animated prequel, is much more mean-spirited than I thought it would be. Still need to see the prequel Peninsula. I've not seen the prequel or the sequel, to be honest. So I don't know if I should even bother checking them out. I think it's weird that the prequel was animated. It's a bit strange. I've not heard very good things about Peninsula, but I might check it out if I can get the Blu-ray a bit cheaper than it actually is at the moment. Nos says, greatest zombie film of all time, original Dawn of the Dead, followed by zombie flesh eaters. I can't talk. I would say, personally, for me, I prefer Day of the Dead over Dawn of the Dead. There's something about that claustrophobic, just lonely kind of just vibe to Day of the Dead that I find a bit more engaging than Dawn of the Dead. Personally, that's just me. And I think the gore effects in Day of the Dead is some of the best Tom Savini has ever done. So that's just me. Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead is fucking great as well. Don't get me wrong. I just prefer Day. And yeah, Lucio Fulci's zombie is just awesome. Dan says, have a good stream, guys. Don't stay up too late. And Sophie, I've sent you the indie German film about Hitler returning. Watch that with Jason. You'd be laughing your heads off.
Yeah.
Night, guys.
I've just got a message.
Take care, Dan. Hope you're
Take
doing
care,
well.
Dan.
Have a good night. Don't work too hard. The monkey says, Sophie and Jason, I understood after you explained your sense of humor. I had just written a lot by then. No problem, man. It's all good.
All good. All good in the hood.
All good in the hood, mates.
Do people still say that? I don't know.
I don't know. BP33 says you have to watch the In Search of docs on Shudder. Yeah, they're really good. We've watched them already. I believe you sent us a disc of it, Al, which is really nice of you. So yeah, we watched those. They're really, really good.
We watched all of it.
Yeah, both of them, I think. In Search of Darkness 1 and In Search of Darkness 2, really fucking good.
They were long, but they were really entertaining.
They're really good, yeah. Name Star says, definitely female, but glad you asked, as I'm tired of people thinking I'm a guy. Profile picture is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Awesome. So yeah.
I've never seen Buffy, sorry.
I actually can kind of tell now. Now that she's mentioned it, I can tell it's almost like a caricature of Sarah Michelle Gellar. I can see it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
BP33 says Afflicted and Spring are both good horror movies too. I've always wanted to see Afflicted. I've heard really good things about that Afflicted.
I've not heard of Spring.
I think Spring, the Blu-ray came out by 101, I think. So I might have to give that a look soon. Platino guy says Peninsula is rather forgettable. Is rather a forgettable big step down from Train to Busan, but it does have a few good moments. Good to know. Monkey says, "Thank you. Just heard the all good in the hood." Member Star says, "If you had to rate the main 3 Romero films from best to worst, where would you place them? For me, Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, and Dawn of the Dead, which I'm not as keen on. I would go. Was it from best to worst? So I'd go Day, Dawn, Night. I found it very difficult to go back to Night of the Living Dead, based on the fact that I just don't think it ages very well now. I just find it kind of a slog to sit through. I actually prefer the remake. If I was going to go back and watch that story, I'd go and watch the Tom Savini remake. I just think it's more rewatchable than the original Romero Night of the Living Dead. But yeah, mine would be Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead. Personally, some people might find that quite sacrilege to put obviously the originator of zombie films, pretty much of what we know to be zombie films now, to be my least favorite. But it's just one of those things. But then the guy says Spring is $2.99 in HMV. I'm getting a HMV back in my town, guys. Fucking get in. But I bet you it's $2.99 in stores only, because I did look on the website and I didn't see anything that cheap on there. Sean Jordan says, "You're a Grand Theft Auto fan?" Not particularly. I find them a bit overrated. I used to be when I was a bit younger. I used to be a bit more of a fan when I was a bit of a teenager, with Grand Theft Auto 3 coming out on PS2 and stuff like that. But over the years, I've just found them to be a bit overrated. But yeah, would I buy the sixth one if it comes out? I probably will, but I'm not like head over heels for them, if that makes sense. Nos says Peninsula really disappointed me, and if I were to rate the Romero trilogy Night, Dawn, Day, hashtag Buffy show is better than the movie. I've not seen the Buffy Vampire show, you know. Not seen it.
Oh, Angel.
The monkey says, Sophie, as for where I am, ask anyone. I'm all over the place.
Likewise.
Sophie says likewise. Nos says, excuse my spelling errors on my mobile. My autocorrect is like an abusive partner. Brilliant.
So he's Johnny Depp and the autocorrect is
fucking hell. Nemesis says, the hashtag is perfection. I have a lot of opinions on the Buffy film that might not be welcomed. Well, I've not seen either, so go crazy. Right, I'm at the end of the comments, guys. I'm going to call it a night. It is just gone 10 past midnight. So yeah, thanks everyone for jumping on and just creating conversation and chatting amongst yourselves and enduring my bullshit. So thanks a lot, guys. I really do appreciate it. As always, I'll be live next week, and I'll probably see you guys there. Hopefully, that'd be great. I got a new video coming out tomorrow. It's my A to Z of horror films. So I've picked horror films for each letter of the alphabet and a numbered pick as well. So look forward to that video. It's quite a long one. It's like about 36 minutes. So look forward to that. Have a great evening, or a great morning, should I say. Don't work too hard at work, and Until next time, guys, I will see you later. Bye-bye, everybody's. Fucking yes, dickheads. Bye-bye.